Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is C.S. Walker, and I used to work for the National Security Agency. And I started off as an analyst and then later became one of their, let's say, field operatives or field analysts. Well, currently I'm working on a series, historical fiction, and it's called The Varan Dossier of the Red Horse Collective. And once a week I speak on a internet radio program called The Rod Eccles Show. But enough of that. I made this video to show you exactly how Uranium One made it through Cfius. And it was a lot easier than anybody would ever realize. So, let's just get to it. By the way, I apologize for the quality of the video, but I believe the quality of what I'm about to show you is more important than video quality. But anyway, like I said, let's get to it. This is the first page of a report that was written by an organization called the Organization for International Investments. Now, this group basically helps foreign investors try to get into the United States market. It's not what you might call anything nefarious. Foreign investments do it every single day. But this shows you how Uranium One got to the American uranium, in particular for the Russians. Now, this is page 2. Now, as you see here, it says that a presidential review with decision required within 15 days. Now, that doesn't sound bad. But let's take a look at another part of this, right here. This part kind of made me laugh, because it says, while neither the statute nor the regulation precisely define national security. Okay, a 3-year-old could be able to tell you exactly what national security means. But I guess Cfius have an IQ smaller than a 3-year-old. But anyway, as I said before, here it says presidential review with decision required within 15 days. But I put this in myself. Read highlighted on page 3. Page 3 is where all the juicy stuff is. So why don't we just get to page 3 right away, so that way you can see exactly what's on there. And here's page 3. Now let me zoom in on the important paragraph. And it's right there. Now it says here, foreign government-controlled transactions are subject to greater scrutiny by Cfius. That makes sense. FINZA, which is the Foreign Investment... Oh, Jesus. Hold on a moment. Let me find FINZA for you, because it's on this page. Oop. Right here, page 1. FINZA. Zoomed it too much? Sorry. Is the Foreign Investment and National Security Act of 2007. So I was almost there. I just couldn't remember exactly what FINZA meant. But let's get back to page 3. Now, zoom it back in for you. Right here, a little less on the zoom, and a little less on the zoom again. And there we go. Foreign government-controlled transactions are subject to greater scrutiny by Cfius. The FINZA created a statutory presumption that notices involving foreign government, like Russia, ownership will proceed to a 45-day investigation phase. Sounds up and up, sounds good. And then here is where Hillary Clinton, who is the only logical person who had more to gain by the Russians getting their hands on uranium from the United States, steps in. Unless senior level officials, the Secretary or Deputy Secretary of the Treasury, and an equivalent official at another designated lead. Well, doesn't say the State Department, or does it? Let's put that to rest real quick, because if we go back to page 1, and it says here, composition of Cfius. Right there. State Department is a member or a senior member and a voting member of Cfius. Now, when you're the head of the State Department and the presumptive future president of the United States, because everybody was convinced that she was going to be president, let's face it, do you really want to piss off the future president of the United States? I don't think so. So the fact remains is that Hillary Clinton did push the Uranium One deal. They were a member of the board, a very senior member of the board. And in fact, she was, well, her State Department, everybody feared them. Because the simple fact is that everybody was convinced that she was going to be the next president of the United States. And if you wanted your future to be ensured, that you were going to have zero complications in your career in the federal government, and that you were going to move up, you don't want to piss off a future president, now do you? I don't think so. That's how Cfius got through. She basically turned around and ensured that there were no problems with it going through. And that was it. Says it right here. Lead agency within Cfius determined that the proposed transaction will not impair national security. It's right there in black and white. Well, and highlighted in yellow. All she had to do was say, hey, I promise this has no impact on our national security. And it bypassed the 45-day investigation phase, went straight to the president, who then, of course, knowing that she was going to be the future president of the United States, or so he thought, just basically turned around and approved the whole thing. Let's be honest. It was a setup from the word go. She knew, everybody knew, and to this day, they hide it. But all you had to do was just look on the internet and find out how Cfius works. And that's how I did it. It was pretty easy, to be honest with you. I've dealt with a lot tougher nuts to crack than this one. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. She used her influence on the Cfius panel to push through the Uranium One deal. She said, her office said, there's no impact or impairment into our national security. It bypassed the 45 days and it bypassed the president and went straight into effect. There it is, folks. Have a great one.